Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss the 23rd chapter of The Invisible Man, which is in the Drury land. In the last chapter we discussed about his feats in the Emporium, where he thought he could get all the things he wanted, and yes, he got all those things. He wanted to escape with all those plunderings, but he could not because his presence was detected. They followed him, and finally he had to remove all the things, all the clothes that he had found there, and he was invisible again. He had realized by now that what are the disadvantages of invisibility, and that was the reason that he wanted to give himself a credible presence. But finally he was unsuccessful in that, and so he had to come out, removing all the clothes that he had looted or plundered there in the Emporium, and he was out again in the bitter cold, without any clothes, without anything, all invisible again. And so, and now his mind was obsessed with the idea that he must get something to cover himself, he must get a place, and in this with this idea in his mind, he was moving on, and then he got into the last lane, or in the end of the Oxford Street where he had earlier been. And there he saw a fly-infested old shop, all dirty, all dusty, and there he saw the things that he needed, that he wanted. And so he opened the door. But as soon as he opened the door, there was a clanking, a ringing sound, because there was such a system that as soon as the door was opened, it would set the bell ringing. And this ringing sound brought the owner of the shop down, who was having meals. So when he heard that sound, he came down the stairs and he looked about here and there, searching that who was there. And when he found nobody, first he was all surprised. Then that surprise gave way to anger because he found nobody there, and he just started cursing like the boys, dame the boys, and saying this, he's just pushed the door again and then moved upstairs. But he was a short person, hunchback and bandy legs, but he was very much alert. Yes, very alert. That when he was moving upstairs, he could sense his presence, the presence of the invisible man. The breathing and all that he could sense. So while he was going up, he stopped there in between, and then he managed, the Griffin, the invisible man Griffin, managed somehow to like not running into him. He stopped in time, and he got up and shut the door. Then, as if not satisfied completely, he came back again, opened the door, got down again, looked here and there behind things, and all the places where he was, where he thought that somebody could hide, and he got a chance to get into. So he got into the room, he came back again and resumed his meal. Of course, he was disturbed while having his meal, and his table manners were very bad. So this invisible man was quite upset about that when he saw him eating in such a way, and he could do nothing. He just had to, though he was also feeling quite hungry, but he couldn't do anything. He just had to stand and wait for the proper time when he could move and rummage around. So it was a long time when he was finished with his meals, and when he was finished with his meals, he took all the things on a tray and took them to downstairs where he had his kitchen and scullery. There he took all those things, he followed him underground, and when he saw him washing the utensils, he came back and sat in his chair, which was near the fireplace. And scarcely thinking his alertness, what he did, he put some coal into the fire because fire was low. And the sound of that brought him upstairs again. He was suspicious. He looked here and there, and finding nobody, he even opened the door for upstairs and went there. He also got a chance, and he passed by him and started looking here and there. There were different rooms. He got about there and started searching. And when he was searching, he forgot again about his alertness, and what happened, that the sound, what he was searching for, the sound of all that brought him back again. And he this time he had a revolver in his hand. He got all afraid and he stood all calm and say without making any noise there. And what he felt, that short man, the owner felt it might be her. He said it might be her, damn her, and saying like this, he again closed the door and went away. And this time what he did, he locked the door. He could hear the keys turning, and for a time being he couldn't understand what to do. He sat there, but then he resumed his search. And when he was doing all this, there came a pile down and it made a lot of noise. And hearing that noise, he came again and he said it must be rats, must be rats. And there he happened to touch him as well. He was afraid, and by this time he was fed up by his alertness, by his vigilance, by, we can say, by his wariness, cautiousness, and so he could stand it no longer. So when he was going down, what he did, he took a stool from there and just hit it hard on his head. The man went unconscious. He tied his hands and legs and covered him in a sheet and just let him lie there on the floor. And then he searched and found all those things he wanted. In his mind he had already those plans that when it would be suitable he would get all those things and then he would move away. But before going away, he was bit afraid of his appearance, that was it a credible appearance, was it proper. So he found a cheval glass there, a glass there where you can have all your reflection, your complete full body reflection. So he went to a cheval glass, he saw himself and he felt satisfied about his appearance, that now yes, it is proper, he can go out and that. So taking all the money also from there, and he gathering bit of courage, he went out of his the shop, seeing that nobody was there out in the street. He went out, and first he was hungry, though there at the house as well he got some loaf and cheese and he ate that loaf and cheese there. And then it was that he, with a portmanteau, he went out into the street. So first he went to a restaurant and there he ordered meals, but then he realized it was not possible for him to eat in open there in the public. So then he made an excuse. He said that I'll be back in 10 minutes, I must go. So with this excuse he left the restaurant and then went to another restaurant, and there he ordered, first he talked for a private room. He said, see, I am disfigured badly, so I cannot eat here in open, so I need a private room, will you please? So of course that was disfiguring or such was not their business. They arranged a room for him, he had his meals there, and then he went to Iping. So here was this was the point from where we started our novel, that how and when he reached Iping. So yes, this is all about the 23rd chapter of your novel. Now what happened after this, what he did, what he told Kemp about the other things. He told him that I want to tell you all about that, what happened there. So I'll tell you, I needed my memoranda, that means his, say, books, the diaries in which he recorded everything, and he said, once I get them, I'll tell you the formula of the invisibility and all what I recorded. I just needed, and the tramp has all those things with him. I have got my clothes, but I still have my books with him. So that's what he was telling, and I want those books badly. That's what he said to Dr. Kemp. So this is all about this chapter, and to know more about the story, what happened next, continue watching. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.